So I wanted to share a bit about it has now been 3 months since I did the Joe Dispenza 2-day retreat in Barcelona. And and just kind of share about what has shifted for me in the past 3 months. So since I absolutely love the retreat, had some really powerful things manifest like during the retreat, immediately after, and really felt like I was living in a completely different vibration. And since the retreat, which ended May 19th, every single day, I've done at minimum one meditation. And honestly, at minimum one of Joe Dispenza, specifically his meditations. Um, More often than not, I'm doing at least two a day, sometimes even more than that. And wanted to share just kind of the things that have shifted for me, what has yet to manifest, and honestly, both from an accountability standpoint, because I mean, I intend to continue doing this work literally every day for the rest of my life. And also, I don't know, I personally love to hear about other people's experiences and like what has shifted for them and what they're manifesting and things like that. And so if you find this video helpful, definitely let me know. So, okay. At the retreat itself, I was intending to manifest a romantic partner. That is still the top thing that I'm manifesting. And then beyond that, just abundance in my business. I'm a hypnotherapist, and just hoping to kind of grow my business at this point. And so those are the two kind of main things in the back of my head of what it is that I'm manifesting. And then, as I said, I've been doing these daily meditations since the end of the retreat. I use a lot of different ones. So my favorite is the reconditioning your body to a new mind. I also love the new beliefs and perceptions. I think it's called something like that. The blessing of the energy centers, tuning into new potentials, and then tuning in with your heart. Those are the main ones that I've been using. So not all of them specifically ask you to tap into a specific manifestation. Some do, some don't. Now, in terms of kind of what has shifted for me since the end of that retreat and since kind of committing myself to doing these meditations, I have not yet manifested a partner, and in fact have probably less movement on that front. And even in the business, not too much has shifted, but what has started happening is the synchronicities. And that's what he talks about a lot. It's like you start to kind of like have these beautiful kind of mini miracles, almost I would call them, just like winks from the universe of like, oh, like that's cool. It's like a message from the divine. So you know that the work that you're doing is affecting your external, even though it just hasn't manifested in the specific things that I'm building towards. So in terms of what has happened, a lot of, like seeing numbers that have relevance to me, seeing people's names, I'll be like thinking about someone and then kind of like see their name on a mailbox or like on a shop when it's like a very, uncommon name. I've also, and like thinking of someone and they contact you, whatever it might be, those types of things. I've also had, from the abundance standpoint, these are what I take as kind of like these mini nods from the universe or mini miracles of like, you know, I was randomly given a free acupuncture session at my acupuncturist. When I like have gone to buy a smoothie or something, and then they just like randomly gave me like a bunch of fruit with it. For free. And having random people offer to like pay for things, like strangers like insisting on like buying me like an empanada or something like that, these like little things, but that like when they happen you're like, oh, that was like magical and so beautiful, and you like experience such gratitude not only for like whatever it is that you've just received, but also just for the experience of like being like, wow, I energetically somehow created that. I've also just noticed I live in Brooklyn, New York. People are just like kinder. Like when I'm in that elevated state, like I have more positive interactions with typically New Yorkers kind of like don't necessarily make eye contact or like, don't really want to say hi, things like that. And so that's definitely been a shift for me. And I still am I'm very reactive about certain things in my life. I have a family situation that's very stressful, and I'm still fairly reactive to that certain days. Some days it's better than others. But Joe talks about the refractory period, like how long does it take you to come back to your center? And that's definitely gotten shorter, which is great. And the thing is too, like for me with this work, I'm a hypnotherapist myself. And so I'm also doing, work with other practitioners to like reprogram my own mind to make sure that like if there's any beliefs or anything getting in the way of what I'm working towards, that I'm addressing those through, a hypnotherapist, an RT practitioner, whatever it might be. But then I'm always continuing to maintain my meditation practice, which I see as more of like the energetic component. Versus just the like mind reprogramming. It's both, but for me, I do more of like the mind reprogramming through these modalities. And in general, just, like I'm not a morning person and I always make sure that I do this first thing in the morning. And it has gotten me to start waking up more consistently at an early-ish time, early for me. And so that's been really beautiful. And like, I do feel like I'm just becoming a different person, which really is the intention. It's rather than staying so focused on like specific external outcomes of like manifesting a partner, manifesting abundance, whatever. I just like I love the feeling after I meditate, and I love who I feel like I'm becoming. So that's what's happened for me in the past 90 days. It's been like, again, I intend to continue doing these meditations every single day for the rest of my life. Like you feel so good connecting within like that and connecting with the divine. And because it is just so fun to see these little like miracles happening in your day-to-day life. And I, trusting that like ultimately I will be creating exactly the life that I want to have. So anyways, if this is helpful for you to hear about, please let me know. I might kind of keep doing these check-ins like monthly of just kind of like what else has shifted for me as I continue along this path of following his work. But let me know if this resonates, if this is helpful, and all of that. Thanks.